Flip's Video Journal is a book which is part of the Flip's Journal series that addresses the issues of anger and bullying, and where does the anger come from, and how do you deal with the anger once you figure out where it comes from. What we found in schools, in every school, is that kids are coming to school and they're taking their anger out wherever it comes from on their fellow students, and in some cases also the teachers also. They don't really understand at that age that the anger that they feel towards their parents or towards some incident from home should not be carried into school. I don't know if students ever really get that until they become adults. So this book is trying to show them that you're angry at someone, but who are you really angry at? Where does the anger really come from? Well, Flip's Video Journal, in this story, Flip, he has an assignment from his teacher to record his day with a camcorder rather than write his day in his journal, which is what he usually does. And in this particular instance, he takes his camcorder to school, and during the day, 3 separate incidents of anger take place. And he accidentally records all 3 incidents without realizing it, so that at the end of the day, he's able to review what happened and see where the anger came from. She was still mad at me, so I pressed the rewind button on the camcorder. The camcorder has a little screen. I showed Sniffy the part where Mom yelled at her, and then I showed Sniffy yelling at me. I said maybe she yelled at me because she was mad at Mom. The first anger incident occurs when Flip is on his way to school and the mom's car breaks down. So she wants to call a tow truck, and because the daughter is talking on the phone, she gets angry at her and she yells at her. When Flip takes his sister's skateboard to ride the rest of the way to school, the sister runs after him and starts yelling at him because she's so angry at the mother. Flip, in turn, because Sniffy yelled at him, goes to school, sees his friend Muzz. Muzz has a new card that he wants to show Flip. Flip is not in the mood, and he takes his anger out on Muzz, and they start fighting. Muzz kept talking, and I kept getting madder and madder. I called Muzz a bragger. I told him to get out of my face. Then I pushed him. We started fighting. So it's almost like a domino effect. And so, each instance shows a different type of anger with a different root. It's so funny because they heard the story, and usually they laugh a lot and respond. In this case, they laughed a little bit, but they were more, I noticed more than any of the other flip books, they were more focused. And I think it was because the story was pushing buttons with them. It was revealing things about their own lives, because so many of them have anger issues. And I could see that they were relating to the things that were happening in the book, especially when the parent was yelling at the child. We started at PS46 about 3 years ago for us, and we started to just go to the classroom and do the Flip program. One of the things we try to do is we try to give them activities that relate to anger management. One of the things that we first did was to have them write little anger scenarios and then act them out with the Flip puppets. We have a set of Flip puppets that we take to the schools, and the kids are able to do their anger through a puppet. And that is so helpful, because a lot of times a child cannot express their true feelings as themselves, but with the puppet they can say things that they would never say. One thing that I remember is when I was working in Florida, and we were doing something with puppets, and there was a little boy who obviously had issues, couldn't express them as himself, so we made the puppet with him, and he used a puppet to say, "I get blamed for everything my stepbrother does." He might not have said that on his own, but he was able to say it with the puppet. I've had them act out their anger scenarios, only the problem, create an anger problem, and then I've had the rest of the students watch the little puppet show that takes place and come up with the solutions themselves. And we've had so many different responses. It's great to hear students coming up with solutions to anger problems. The program, I think, has been effective. I really feel that the students are starting to think about things that they're not used to thinking about in the classroom. Because it's one thing to hear an individual book or to hear someone tell you something, but to have an actual program where you're doing activities and hearing a story and working with puppets, all related to anger. I mean, that's something unique. What makes it successful is that it allows students to express themselves as individuals. And after they express themselves, we help them to feel good about themselves. We tell them that the individual that they're expressing is great, is wonderful. Well, Puppetry in Practice is a non-for-profit organization based at Brooklyn College and founded by the director, Tova Ackerman. Tova is a great educator who's known throughout the city school system because she's used her organization to help thousands and thousands of children throughout the years. And she sends me into classrooms, and I use my flip journals, which she published, to do programs. There's also other artists that she sends out, musicians and actors, and usually when I come into a classroom, the students are very excited because they know that I'm going to help them do something fun. But we have a way of using the puppetry and arts and crafts. It's almost like art class combined with the other parts of the curriculum. And I think the students like that a lot. And the other thing is that they know I love them and I care about them. So the program isn't just about me trying to teach them about various things in anger management and anti-bullying, but it's also trying to be a role model for them and having them respond to that. I think schools are looking for ways, more economical ways to bring the arts into their schools. And I think with our program, they get many levels of art. They get the drawing, they get writing, they get puppetry, and most of all, with all of these, they get the curriculum, they get the standards, because all of our programs are based on the school standards and what's needed in the classroom. So I think there's such a great package. The important thing is that what's happening while we're there, because the students, whether they show it at the time or not, are hearing that anger comes from different places, and that anger can be misplaced, and anger can be shown in inappropriate ways. So once we have them thinking about that, that's the success, is that they're thinking about something that may not have occurred to them before. I would like to see it, of course, get into as many schools as possible, because every school has anger management issues. But also I'd like to see it develop more in terms of the kinds of puppets we can use, the quality of the material that we can use. All of that, of course, takes grant money. So, but somewhere down the line, I'd like maybe a whole school system to adopt these programs, because they are effective and I know they're very much needed. So hopefully someday that will come to pass.